Despite the loss of James Conner very early in the 2015 season, the Pitt offense, especially the rushing attack, pretty productive in leading the Panthers to an 8-5 campaign. We bring in Jim Hammett from Cardiac Hill to help us sort out the offensive line, and not a whole lot to sort out, Jim. It's a pretty stable position with just your center, Artie Rowell, being lost from that team back in 2015.
Yeah, there's definitely, it's a position that's very well built up on this team. Obviously, Pat Narduzzi's the coach now, but before him was Paul Christ. He was known for architecting those great Wisconsin offenses. So he left Pitt stacked with a pretty solid offensive line as one position where he really put an emphasis on. So, I mean, you look at Adam Bisnowaty and Dorian Johnson on the left side. Both guys are probably looking at getting drafted this year. All ACC guys may push for some All-American votes. I mean, they're both very good players. Bisnowaty was a 4-star. He's a local Pittsburgh kid. Dorian Johnson was actually a 5-star, also from the Pittsburgh area. So those were two big recruiting wins, and they've translated because they've started a lot of games in their career. Moving to center, it's Alex Officer. He's played guard, center the past couple of years. Rowell's dealt with some injuries, so he has a lot of starts under his belt. He was named to the Remington watch list, so he's a very good, experienced center. He's a junior. Then on the right side, it gets kind of interesting because you have 3 guys in 2 spots, so we're kind of waiting to see how it plays out. You have Brian O'Neill back at right tackle. He started every game last season as a redshirt freshman, rather. He's a converted tight end, but he played very well in that role. People are excited about him. He's athletic, kind of fits that NFL, tackle mold. He's not a huge, overpowering guy. So he's an athlete, like I said, with that tight end background. And you also have Alex Buxer back. He was kind of the 6th man last year, if you will, using a basketball reference. He's another 4-star local Pittsburgh. The area produces a lot of linemen, as you can see. He's going to get in there. He can play almost every spot. So, people are excited about him. And what's returning to the team is Jared Jones-Smith, who missed all of last year. He's a very imposing offensive lineman from Philadelphia, 6'3", 6'7", 330. I mean, he's a very big guy. He's another guy they think that has NFL potential. So the line is pretty well stocked at the moment.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. O'Neill, you mentioned him moving over from tight end, but he did get 11 starts as a freshman at tackle. So apparently he's made that transition successfully. And you've got issues at wide receiver possibly, or at least youth. But the quarterback situation's stable. You got running backs who've come back from last season. So it all starts with the offensive line, and it appears as though the offense might be more productive this year, considering that this offensive line is going to create holes in the running game and should protect the passer based on this experience and the talent level here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look, and there's a little bit of depth too. So, obviously this is a position that takes on a lot of injuries. It did last season. I think they could absorb an injury, maybe 2. I still think there's some other experienced guys that could play. I look at a guy like Mike Herndon. He's a converted defensive tackle, plays some special teams blocking. Even Mike Grimm at one time, it was a huge recruit for Pitt, another 4-star from the Pittsburgh area. So I think they can absorb some injuries, but like you said, that they should be able to pave the way for a solid running game, be able to protect Nate Peterman, and hopefully, the receiving, it all comes together. That there's a chance this Pitt offense could be pretty special, but it's a good start having a line like this to, protect and block for everyone.
Jim Hammett from Cardiac Hill helping us out on the Pitt offensive line. Jim, I always appreciate it. Love the personnel breakdowns.
Thanks, Mark.